What is up, guys? Zan from the Zan Madden YouTube channel. Today's YouTube commentary, we're going to be taking a look at a full game that I played last week against a double stack demon. Now, I get a lot of you guys in the comments that talk about the monster double stack offense, glowing running backs. You know, how do you stop this? What's the best approach to defend this? I've done one-off videos before here on the channel, kind of showing you guys how to shut this down or how to play more of a bend but don't break approach against it. And I got a commentary here against a total troll player that I think will serve as a really great opportunity to kind of show you guys what I'm talking about here. So let's go ahead and get into this game here. You can see the name in the top right corner of the screen. Obviously, this is a guy who is definitely looking for inciting rage out of streamers. I have not faced this guy, I think, but maybe one other time this year. And I do recall he kind of played like a troll in that game as well. So again, this is going to be a matchup where my opponent is going to be running the spread offense, running double stack, mixing in a little bit of monster, if I recall correctly. And we're going to be starting off with the ball here first on offense. For those of you that want to know what I am currently in on offense, I am in the single back bunch X Nasty. No shock there, of course. This is in the Minnesota Vikings offense, also in the LA Rams offense. And while I'm setting audibles here, I think it's important to let you guys know we do have 35% off our yearly membership on Gridiron Gameplans.gg for the Madden 24 pre-sale. The X Nasty offense is probably the fastest growing offense in Madden right now. You guys can hop over on the website, take a look at the Madden 23 X Nasty as part of your 24 pre-sale, as well as my over G. And you see that we're starting off with a little stick work against Dollar. You're going to find out real quick. This offense is really good against Dollar. Obviously, we can pick up the spinner / DB fire meta. We can run the ball effectively on that. People will say all the time, oh, glowing running back. Well, right there, we didn't get touched. So glowing running back or not, I really wasted AP for that long run and a quick one play score. So 13 seconds into this game, we are up 7-0. And we're going to be starting off here, kicking off on defense, the defensive side of the ball. Big nickel over G. It's in a slew of playbooks in this year's game, so you guys can take a look at those. The ones that I will bounce between are the 4-6 defense, Kansas City Chiefs, and also the Las Vegas Raiders, and that all depends on what my complementary defensive formation that I want to run is. Sometimes it's Dollar that I want to mix in with over G. Sometimes it's a 3-3 type defense, which will dictate whether or not I go with the Raiders or say the 4-6 book. So again, right here, we are setting up our AP. We're setting up our players in the correct positions, and you see right there, gun double stack. Now, the important thing with the gun double stack, we have done content here on the channel, as I've mentioned, trying to show you guys how to deal with glowing running backs, these screens. These particular offenses are predicated on not really having to read the play correctly. And you see right there, he actually does read it correctly. He throws the ball out to the perimeter, catches a block, and you've got Cooper Kupp picking up a gain of 8 yards. Now, I'll tell you right now, the way that I'm playing in this game, my 2 linebackers on this have Acrobat. And you can see that I'm moving some players around. I've got some players with some fumble forcing abilities. I don't want the player that can force the fumble being the guy that is being blocked on the perimeter. So right here, I'm deciding that I want to move him up to the safety. So that way he'll be the first player to get a open field tackle opportunity against the guy who catches the screen. So traditionally, I'm going to put the guy out as immediate support on the outside. Here in this situation, I want to put him in a spot where he's going to be able to flow the football and make a play. The thing about this opponent that you're going to notice as I play through this game is that he does attempt to run a basic passing offense. And you can see pretty quickly as we go through some of his true drop back plays, that is not going to go very well for him. So he's going to rest pretty heavily on the screen game. And you see that the running back in the backfield is in fact Flash. Flash, having that glowing ability, is going to have the ability to break tackles. You see right here, he's going out to the flat. He does a conservative catch. Again, kind of thinking about that hitting ability that I had out there. So he tries to get down, 3rd down and 2. One thing I'm going to tell you straight up off the initial start of this game is that it is important that when you face this style of offense, that your defensive ends have secure tackler. I, in fact, have gone into the Rookie Premier program, and I have picked up Lucas Van Ness and Tuli Tuipulotu. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly. But both of those guys have run stopping abilities and a secure tackler or tackle supreme ability. And those abilities are great because when somebody wants to run a read option based offense, oftentimes they'll hand the ball off to the running back, knowing that even if we crash on the running back, and you see that I've got those guys subbed into the game here, they can break those tackles. Well, if you have those types of players on the field that can tackle, now all of a sudden, that is not going to be a guaranteed broken tackle in a huge gain. The other thing that this allows me to do is basically worry about just trying to play the screen. So you'll see a lot in this particular offense as I try to defend it that I'm flying out trying to bait some throws to the outside. So you see right here, again, in the double stack, I'm trying to basically play the inside zone, kind of hang out on the perimeter and kind of jump the flat. You see right there, he goes to a quick throw to Colin Johnson on the outside. Now right there, I'm actually pretty happy about what I saw right there, and I'll kind of explain why. That's a throw that exposes the rib cage of the wide receiver in the flat. I've got the hitting ability out there. If my opponent wants to live on something like that, that's eventually going to end up, anytime we have hitman glowing, that's going to end up being a fumble. So I'm kind of in a spot where it's like, okay, you can have that, because the moment you decide to throw that when he's glowing, I'm going to be able to force the ball out. So you see right here, he's got flash, and he's glowing. I'm hanging out on the perimeter trying to bait that throw to Cooper Kupp. And you see right there, he tries to pull the ball and run with the quarterback. Now, this is where it gets a little bit tougher, because now I have to respect the potential of the quarterback pulling the ball on the read option, not throwing the ball out to the perimeter towards my user, but instead cutting up the seam. So what I will typically do when I face this is I will actually blitz my user. And the reason that I do this is that if he tries to pull with the quarterback, this allows me to basically click off of my player. One of the only times in Madden I would recommend clicking off is to allow your guy to immediately chase the quarterback once they try to scramble on those RPOs. If your guy's in a coverage assignment, the quarterback has better locomotion than the defenders, so it kind of feels a little bit more like human joystick compared to you trying to make a play on a scrambling quarterback. So that's my rationale for this. You see Brooks here with the tackling ability. I put him on the field here. You see right here, he's trying to go to the middle of the field. And unfortunately, because I was baiting the inside quick throw, my guy jumped, which didn't allow me to peel back and cover the drag. So my opponent scores on his first drive, very long drive, and he ties it up with just over 10 seconds to go in the first quarter. You see right there, 11 plays, 75 yards, 337. I'm not really panicking though, because again, this is kind of the way my defense is built. No matter if I'm facing a spread offense or a tight meta or a bunch or a run heavy offense, I kind of know that more often than not, if I can make you take 10 to, 15 plays to score a touchdown on a drive, I know that I'm going to put the right adjustment on the field at some point. Right there, that was kind of what I call in a lot of these commentaries, the sponge up phase. I don't make a ton of crazy adjustments. I might move players around AP-wise just to, better knock things out. But I don't want to overcommit and get into crazy man-ups or, anything like that early, because I don't want to show you my adjustments in the first quarter. Those adjustments are far more valuable late in the ball game. So you see right there, I try to get a little bit patient, do that same hezzy that I did on my opening run for the long touchdown. And he has a little bit better gap integrity right there. Chat right there kind of razzing me a little bit about the spread and, my opponent, the way he plays. Had some people in the chat, whining about, oh, I hate facing this style of offense. This is the reason I quit Madden. And, I understand it. It's a frustrating offense, but at the end of the day, my mentality on things is, these are the things that exist because of metas like dollar, to be totally honest with you. It's kind of a chicken or the egg situation. I honestly don't think that players would run this or go to the lengths that they do to run these styles of offense if it weren't for certain defensive metas and, trying to counter those. Now, unfortunately, for those of us that don't run the dollar defensive meta, this offense is also good against that, which is kind of the point, right? You know, we could sit here all day long and say, okay, you know, these guys don't know how to throw. You know, for a lot of them, that is probably true. They really don't know how to throw the football. But at the end of the day, if you know all they're doing is throwing a flanker screen and running the ball, as a defensive player, that's your job should be a lot easier. So, you know, those are things that falling on us as defensive players, myself, to hop in the lab and make sure I have something that locks that up, right? That won't allow an 11 play drive to go for a touchdown. So you see right here, I'm staying committed to the wide zone. My mentality on, you know, X nasty against dollar is this: if you cannot stop me consistently, if you can't hit me consistently behind the line of scrimmage in the backfield, you know, if my first contact is always at 2 to 3 yards downfield, I am going to continue establishing the run. I want you to get some fluky sheds consistently, because at the end of the day, if I can run the ball 4 times in a row for 3 yards a pop, that's 12 and a first down. So right here, I go out to the flat, Cooper Kupp, little short out elite, holds onto the ball underneath. We move the chains right there. The other thing that running a heavier run attack against the dollar allows me to do is it allows me to focus on the run game, and it doesn't allow my opponent to over adjust. I just mentioned how I don't like to over adjust early. Well, if you run kind of a run first offense, if you're running the ball effectively, you know, 75% of the time against dollar, they're not going to get into the habit of trying to man up their safeties on individual players like the running back or the tight end or a whip route. You know, they have less opportunities to kind of discern information about your passing offense that allows you to have a higher impact with your third down play calls. Right there, I tried to hezzy and cut up the seam. I fat thumbed it a little bit, only got 2, potential for a lot more. Right here at the end of the first half, I'm kind of thinking, all right, well, I definitely don't want him to see the ball again. Although my opponent has shown that he really can't throw the ball downfield too well in this particular offense. He did have that slant for the touchdown over the middle, but it wasn't like he lasered me up anything fierce on his first drive. Right here, Cooper Kupp, out route, click on, attack the football to prevent a KO from behind, move the chains, first down. You see right there, I've basically got 6 rushes for 100 yards. I've got 2 passes for, you know, I think close to 20 yards. So yeah, it's efficient. I mean, 8 plays, about 120 total yards. I find too many players care about style points. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it's easy to shun somebody for running X nasty right there. Good run defense, right? He's going to have to show me that he can do this consistently. I tell people this all the time. The only points that matter are the ones that go on the scoreboard. You can sit there, and this kind of brings me to another point too. Like, a lot of people love to shun this style of offense. Yes, it's not exactly the, you know, does my opponent look like the best player in the world from a passing standpoint? No. Am I the best player in the world from a passing standpoint? Hell no. But the thing that we have in common is holding on to the football and preventing our opponents from possessing it, which prevents points from them. And then we try to play bend but don't break defense, right? He happens to be in the dollar meta. I happen to be in something else. But at the end of the day, you don't have to be the best passer in the world to win games in Madden. And I think that bothers some people. You know, I do find that it is an ironic thing. You read it on Twitter, especially late in June, July, and people say things like, oh, you know, I just wish people would play more original. I just wish that, as we have a Texas route, click on right there with Henry, attack the football, pick up another first down. People say all the time, imagine running dollar, imagine running tight, imagine running this in June. You know, these are things that have been meta since last August, right? And it's like, okay, but where's the ownership in that for you? Where is your responsibility? You've seen tight, you've seen dollar, you've seen 6-1, you've seen all these things for 11. We're now going on the 12th month of this game being out, right? You've seen those things for a year. You still struggle against those things, but it's your opponent's fault for running it. And then what you say is, I wish players would just play original. These guys wouldn't be able to win games unless they ran the meta, like dollar and tight. Well, then you run into these players, and then these players get chastised as well. Yeah, is the offense trolly? Yes, a little bit, but like at the end of the day, they want to win too. Obviously, just as much as you, maybe even more, based off of the fact that they're running stuff that is intended to incense players. And I kind of read this attitude, not necessarily from my regulars every day in my Twitch chat, but I read this mentality from a lot of players that will just kind of drop by and make comments like, oh, you run the ball every play. You know, that's what they say to me. Well, hell yeah, I'm going to run the ball every play. I run the ball 7 times in the first half for 108 yards. Tell me why it's dumb not to, or tell me why it's dumb to continue running the ball rather in that situation. That's kind of my mentality. And then same thing here for this guy. Like, clearly he's a little deficient in an area of his game. So he runs an offense that most effectively masks that. Why? Because you've got to think about a million things. The glowing running back, AKA. You got to think about the vanguard on the outside blocking your primary flat defender. You got to think about the guy on the outside catching the ball on an easy throw, an efficient throw. You've got to think about all those things, which allows him to hide his situational dots, which he tried to throw a few of them on his first drive and it didn't look good. But again, like at least he has a plan for how he wants to play. Style points don't matter. The ones that go on the scoreboard do. And the scoreboard right here says 10-7, 10-7. So here he goes. Audibles into tight slots open, I think this is called. And immediately I told my chat, I was like, this is a skinny post to the X receiver. Receiver on the left is going to run a deep skinny post. Probably going to have a streak, some sort of comeback combo. And you're going to see that that's basically exactly what it was. And I was ready for it, and we're able to get the coverage sack. So again, when he's dropping back, look for something past line of scrimmage. It's not looking good, right? And I can tell that right away. I was like, okay, I've just got to put this guy on a 3rd and long or a 4th and long, and we win this game. Simple. Well, kind of simple, right? So here we go. My opponent now will have the ball to start the second half. I'm a little bit disappointed that I didn't finish my first drive with a touchdown. Going back to my last drive where I settled for 3, my opponent, I think I had threat detector, and he dropped his left side into coverage. And I kind of thought, man, it's 3rd down and 5. I could steal. I know that he's dropping coverage on the left side with a 3-man rush up front. And I could probably run outside zone left and pick this up. Unfortunately, he got a shed. So that was a 4-point tackle for him. I thought I was going to be able to use that information from the threat detector to steal a touchdown off of him. But it didn't work. It didn't work. So that's a big play, actually, in the grand scheme of things, because now this allows this guy here to kind of dictate things. And you see right there, I talked about exposing your ribs. You'll notice that I moved Derrick Henry over to that side instead of the hitman. And the reason for that is I think my opponent was simply looking to see, and I want to go back to this. I'm gonna pull this up. I want you to note that I made some changes. It might have been on the last drive even, but I noticed that he was throwing the ball to his player on the outside left when basically hitman was not glowing. So I thought, okay, if I'm going to handle the screen on the right side and he's going to look to the left, he's either going to run the ball or throw the ball quick to the left. So I'm going to put Derrick Henry over there, who can always cause a fumble all game long. And I'm going to handle everything on the right side / the inside zone. And I'm going to bank on him throwing this. And that's exactly what he does. He throws that little high ball wheel. Henry with the bing bong.
Bing bong.
And we are able to pick up that fumble. And now we are down at the 25. So just a simple adjustment to my player personnel, kind of understanding what my opponent is trying to do within their offense. I'm taking away the screen to the right. I'm taking away the inside zone handoff. I just need to worry about what his only consistent read he likes so far in this game is, and that's the quick throw wheel to the left. So we force that fumble. Now here's Henry, bounces it outside, 10, 5, and we are down to the 1. 11 rushes, 137 yards, 1 touchdown. And again, you see here that I've got a chance to put a full stranglehold on the pace of play in this game. So, and again, he stays in this dollar as a goal line defense. I saw him click onto Thibodeau right there. It looked to me like maybe he might have put him into a zone, but I was running the ball anyway. So little quick motion to the inside with Cooper Kupp just to kind of serve as a little protector up the middle if my opponent gap shoots. Didn't need him right there. Had a giant lane, and we are up by 10. So go ahead and fast forward here to the kickoff. My opponent starts off on offense here. And you see that he's going to go out to that quick throw to the flat, and I hit him again, and we recovered it, but we went out of bounds. So right there, that was like almost GG's right off the bat. Just a simple movement of understanding, like, okay, like he's definitely trying to throw as far away from me as possible. He doesn't trust his inside zone here. He doesn't trust his screen. Let's just go ahead and hang out here. As you notice, I put Peppers back out in the game. I'm trying to get those acrobats. You see right there, he should have fumbled a third time right there. He's 11 of 12 for 88, but not really a single throw has been past the line of scrimmage except for the slant in the middle, and then a couple of those quick throw wheels to the outside. But again, you see right here, he's trying to throw. Now he's going over the middle of the Texas route. I was trying to bait that quick throw to the outside, and he hits it over the middle. But you can see at least now I've kind of got him in a situation where the glowing running back inside zone doesn't really help him at all. And now I'm able to kind of drop some coverage off the defensive line, hopefully. You see right there a little 3-rec, and he's kind of lost, so he throws it out of bounds. So he tried to flood me to the wide side of the field there. Didn't work. Now we have a 3rd down and 2. So once again here, kind of the same mindset. Like I'm going to let him throw those balls out to the outside on the left. I'm trying to bait those quick throws to the outside on the right, and I stood off sides. But there's that secure tackle I talked about. Unfortunately, I stood off sides. But I mentioned how if you keep an outside linebacker or a defensive end on your roster with secure tackler, that's going to prevent the glowing running back RPO offense from really working as an inside zone. So now he's completely screwed as it pertains to his main run play. He really can't hand the ball off to him with any success. Right here, just a bad lurk. I had flat support out there to the left. I should have stayed over the middle of the field. And he does complete a pass there. But I found something I really like here. We got him out of his RPO stack. He's not throwing his screens anymore because we can force fumbles. Quick throw to the outside wheel on the right. And it's like, okay, now he's throwing the ball away from my user on that same throw to the right. So pretty good adjustment right there by him to kind of work that into the mix. Again, not really worried about the inside zone. I've just kind of got to get my user figured out. Really what I'm telling myself is I got to get back to the middle. Another opportunity for a big hit right there. And he's able to protect himself and move the ball a little bit. So he's having a better drive here, much better drive, using a little bit of the middle of the field. We've scared him at least a little bit, throwing the ball to that left side, even though he has a few times. He's getting down right away. And you see right there, that was actually a situation where I had, I believe, some players that had tackling abilities in the game, linebackers, so we didn't really get a break on ball KO opportunity there. Just with him, the way that he was kind of running the offense, I kind of wanted to secure some tackles. But nonetheless, he does score right there. And now he is down by 3. So let's keep it moving here. I'm back on offense. And again, I'm in the X nasty. We're just going to stick with what we've got going here. We ran the ball, I think, 7 or 8 times in the first half for about 110 yards or so. Right here, I'm using tight Y off, a little motion. And this is usually a run that I try to cut straight up the pipe. Right there, I had the lane to the outside. Yeah, you see right there, we're 13 for 139. So, I mean, you do the math on that. That's basically, 10 point. It's over 10, almost 10 and a half, right? So, we're doing pretty well for ourselves. And again, right down the middle, there's Derrick Henry. And that's going to make it 14 for, 219. So, we cannot be stopped in the run game. And again, how much of this is the glowing running back? That's the question I have to ask everyone is, I think people kind of view the X Nasty offense as a, AKA running back offense. Yeah, I have the guy glowing, but how often is it the reason these runs are popping as opposed to look at the blocking against this? So once again, we're up by 10. Get back into this here. I'll kind of fast forward it a little bit. And start off, our opponent throws another drag over the middle. He's able to pick up a first down. And I believe he does get at least one more snap off here. Oh, that's not true. So we'll go ahead and keep this moving a little bit. So here he is back in his double stack. Again, kind of the same approach. He's got that skinny post. That was actually the first time that he loaded up to throw something deep. That was actually a nice little route combo. Great little cover 3 beater. Unfortunately, you have to hold on to the ball such a long time in that situation. So, this is the first time I would say in the game that he's given me something to worry about deep out of this offense. Again, being up 10, I'm not super worried about him putting the ball on the ground because I don't think he wants to trade 30 seconds for, 6 yards, which is funny enough, kind of, not really here with the runoff, but 6 yards right there. But the clock is running on him. So again, here we've got quick throw out to the flat, and you saw that he was scared about the hitting ability right there. So he goes out of bounds and did pick up the first down though, first down and 10. So At this point, what am I doing? I'm not going to over adjust my hard flats. I'm not going to play hard flats here. I don't want to give him anything quick down the sideline for a big strike. I got to get a little bit more cognizant in the middle of the field. There's that skinny post. He went right back to it. Again, though, we're able to get pressure. Good game out of Tuli Tuipulotu right there. He's got his second hit in the backfield on the quarterback. I think I said 1.5 sacks. We'll call it 2. But again here, check down. Good check down right there. Makes it manageable. And he's going to go with the no huddle here. 3rd down and 4. And he goes out to the flat. And honestly, right there, I feel like I got to make that play. Got to make that play. But once again, clock's still running on him right here. Goal right here should definitely be make sure that he doesn't score before the 2-minute warning. This is the best drive he's put together so far. Whips. Clock's still running right here. And because he had a player a long ways downfield, a little bit longer of a runoff, this will be the last play before the 2-minute warning. He's got to get a snap off here. Goes to the Texas route. Goes to the outside. We intercept it. So again, think about his offense. How much of this offense has been effective beyond 5 yards? Literally nothing. Literally nothing in this game has been good beyond 5 yards. It has been quick throws to the outside on those wheel routes. It has been, and there's another one, and you see right there, he ags me. Kind of a fluky ag right there. We picked off the last one. He goes right back to it, just to the other hash. We should have picked it off there. Instead, he got the dice roll, and he is now down by 3. So, unfortunate break, but all we need is a first down to win this game. So, we're back on offense. Here we go. X, nasty. Cooper Kupp in motion. This time, I'm trying to hit a backside cut. Henry falling forward. 15 for 225, 3 touchdowns. Just really out game managing him in this one. It's easy when you hit home runs with the run game, and then you can make them work on offense if they can't hit you with home runs back. So again, here we got this stack in the box. He's kind of turned his dollar into a 3-4. I'm just going to go ahead and kind of do a little wiggle, fall forward for the first down, and he burns his first time out. So here we are, first down and 10. I'm going to be able to work some clock here, at least another 30 seconds. So you see right here, I'm content to run the ball. Burns another timeout. So now I'm sitting here doing the math in my head. We're going to run another 4 seconds off the clock. 1:07, he burns a timeout. I run the ball again on 3rd down. Maybe not pick up a first down in that situation. My opponent's going to have 30 seconds. So I'm kind of in my mind weighing like, okay, are we going to actually throw the football here on our next down? Pick up a couple yards, 18 for 236 now. You can see right here, I'm not actually super happy about it. So right here in this situation, I'm kind of thinking, all right, well, I might run the ball here. I want to see what he does with the threat detector. If he stays in spinner, I might be willing to drop back. I'm doing some, I believe these are fake hot routes. Let's see here. And he's actually decided to let the clock run. So I let it burn all the way down, and he's going to burn his final timeout. So in this situation, I'm kind of thinking, all right, this guy really hasn't moved the ball effectively at all for chunk yardage in this game. It's all been glowing running backs, some screens, one ag. I just need to punt the ball and have a good punt here. So I'm sitting here thinking, do I want to go wide side with the punt? And I was like, nah, I can get better distance with the short hash. So I'd go ahead and punt this. I've got this new J.K. Scott item from the Season 5 Field Pass, and we absolutely punt dot. 4-yard line, 26 seconds. Basically short of him picking up a 50, something, close to a 50-yard chunk play. We are going to be fine because the runoff, you'd have to get out of bounds. So I'm kind of thinking, all right, well, he has done a good job getting out of bounds here with this. I decided to keep Henry on the left side. I'm not worried about inside zone, so I'm not stacking the box here. He does go that quick wheel, though, but we hit him and we keep him in bounds. Again, that's kind of the danger right there. So here at this point, I'm like, all right, this should be last play. We just go ahead and drop it deep. He decides to throw an out route out of bounds. So, as you just kind of think through this game, guys, I just want to say, I think the key to this, because this offense is designed to be something that makes you blink. Do not blink against the spread RPO player. A lot of times they outcite themselves. You see right here, he's going to the monster. You know, again here, like grasping at straws as it pertains, you know, trying to get this to work here. Going to the wheel, and we're able to intercept it, but once again, out of bounds. So again, kind of think about all the throws downfield. I mean, he should have thrown 4 interceptions on throws down the field. I would just say kind of keep it in a spot. You know, if you could put the tackling abilities on the DNs, that's the most important part. It stops the run game. Then they have to rely on screens and the occasional throw downfield, which never goes well. But speaking of throws downfield, it goes really well for him. But fortunately, I was able to tackle the guy. Look at that again. Look at that again. Absolutely insane. We actually take a look at this play. You see right here, he goes to chuck this, and we have all our blue jerseys. I mean, we're in Hail Mary defense here. I mean, look at how many we have there. 1, 2, 3, 4, like almost 7 guys. And somehow, some way, it goes over the top of all of us into the hands of Lamb, who gets the best and speediest catch and turn up field animation ever. But fortunately, Lester Hayes didn't get bumped into by anyone. Otherwise, this would have been the most heartbreaking loss I feel like I ever would have taken in the history of Madden. But nonetheless, we do come out on top with a slim margin victory. But I would argue that we really dictated the pace of play in that game. It was basically a 2-score win against that guy. But again, that is the design of that offense. It is designed to ugly games up. It is designed to make you overreact. It is designed to make you overcommit to things. And you guys don't need to. So I hope this video helped you guys out a little bit with kind of the approach of how I typically play against spread option demons. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you guys give the video a thumbs up. Check out the Gridiron Gameplans Madden 24 pre-sale. We got to run it until August 1st. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Until then, this is Zan. Get in the lab, and good luck.